So, review time. Are you ready? In many ways, Mario Sunshine really is a spiritual successor to Mario 64. A lot of the mechanics are either very similar or exactly the same. From the hub world into different levels that gradually open up, each shine being required to achieve before getting the next, attaining a shine kicking you out of the level, etc. A lot of the gripes I have with Mario 64 are addressed in Sunshine. The biggest one, being the camera, is much more controllable and therefore a massive improvement on 64. The number of instances where the camera was a problem could be counted on one hand in this playthrough. I also feel the inclusion of the flawed mechanic made Mario's movements feel even more real and gave him an extra dimension to his moveset that feels so natural. I feel the upgrades are somewhat limited and fairly underused to actually attain shines, but the main hover nozzle and gun nozzle are utilised so frequently and well throughout the game that it actually is hard to get used to not having it when it's taken away for the special levels. The controls are insanely smooth. God, that's a bit loud. Should we turn that down just a little bit just so I can talk? Excuse me, Mario. Let's turn that down a bit. Where did we get to? I'm so sorry. The controls are insanely smooth and responsive, and bugs, while present, are mostly unnoticeable throughout, although there are a few minor exceptions, and along with the amazingly crafted and thematic world, it really sucked me in as a player into the feel of the game. As much as the atmosphere and theme of the game is brilliant, this does cause a lot of the levels to feel very samey after a while, and there is a significant lack of variety with regards to biome. I would love to have seen an area or two with a rainy, windy, or even snow biome that gradually turns to paradise as more shines are attained. I do feel that Nintendo significantly upped their game with regards to level design with Sunshine, however, and this has a negative side effect. Pretty much the only negative thing I mentioned in my Mario 64 review that's actually worse in Sunshine is the fact that it's not possible to get the next shine in an area without doing the current shine first. In 64, it was often, but not always, possible to get a different star to the one that you'd actually selected when entering the level. In Sunshine, this is almost never possible, and each level changes as you go through the shines. Although this creates a lovely story arc for each level as you go through it, this does mean that if there is one particular shine that you're struggling with in an area, then you're missing out on content from shines that come later. A good example of this is Rico Harbour, the second area of the game. There are some really fun shines after the shine that forces you to gather 8 red coins within a time limit. However, I almost never get to see those shines because the 8 red coin shine is so hard. Although it is worth noting I did get to do that on this playthrough. This issue is compounded by the difficulty curve of the game, which, similar to 64, had a general curve with each level getting gradually harder, but each shine within the level has a completely random difficulty. This is inherently bad game design and is a problem that has never really been addressed until Odyssey and does somewhat put a dampener on things. It's also worth noting how bad the final Bowser level is, as it is infamous by now. I know I did it first time, but it is really, really frustrating and difficult. It's a shame that a game with so many well-designed levels and challenges forces you to do what is possibly the worst designed area of the game as a mandatory element. Controlling a wooden boat across lava is crazy at the best of times, but in Sunshine it's nothing short of frustrating. Although the story to Mario Sunshine is laughable and weak, the gameplay is overall fantastic. The atmosphere created by the game is absolutely incredible, the controls are tight, and the game is really just a joy to play. If it wasn't for what I would describe as gated content, a wonky difficulty curve, and a handful of bad levels, I would class this amongst one of the best games of all time. Although Sunshine is overall an improvement on 64, it is far from perfect, but it's still worth a play if you like tight platformers. And that, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, and otherwise, is my review.